Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another day of NGS action and another stream for the same day of NGS action. We are this time going to be going to Division B West between Clouded Minds and Surely We Scale, and I showed you in our previous game how close the teams were in the standings, and it's going to be about the same. 18 points for Clouded Minds and 13 for Surely We Scale. And on top of that, Surely We Scale only have one less match played so far this season compared to Clouded Minds. So this will be kind of catching up. They're not necessarily 5 points back. Could be even less depending on how their next matchup would have gone. But the map picks and bans have already concluded. Clouded Minds took first pick and map pick went over to Surely We Scale. Now, maps are Towers of Doom and Brax's Holdout, banned by Surely We Scale. Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines, banned by Clouded Minds. And Cursed Hollow, gonna be the pick for map number 1 for Surely We Scale. Now we are just waiting on one last player to get into the lobby. And as soon as that happens, we will get going. It should be a pretty close, pretty solid matchup today. Two of the Titans in the B West division. And it is super nice that we do have the B West decision. Anyone who hasn't been around definitely knows that there was a little bit of a drama at the start of the season about that. But luckily the NGS staff, they heard the complaints, they brought it back, and now we do get to have this very fancy Div B West game coming out. Now 10th player did just join the lobby, so we should be doing ready checks. And once we have that, should be good to go. Massive fail not picking Haunted Mines. I've played that map once and I was so mad. It was on my previous NGS team. They made a custom game for it and I almost walked out the room. That was awful. But yeah, with that, gonna be having a pretty good time playing over on this Cursed Hollow. We are Titan of B West. You're almost the Div C team. I mean, you're performing really well right now. I mean, right now, you're one of the best teams in terms of win rate as well. I say it like it is. I'm just looking at the stats. I'm a stats guy. And yet, 2 dominations, 8-5. I mean, it's a pretty close division right now. So it definitely makes it quite a bit more fun. Titans, Hector, Titans, Delum Ulysses. I mean, it's really going to depend on how you look today. No pressure. No, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure this is going to be a close match. I'm sure both teams are going to have a great time, and I'm going to have a lot of fun casting it. But it does seem like we are still just waiting on one more player, as it turns out. They are in the lobby. They're just AFK or out somewhere. Who knows? Who knows how these things happen? But yeah, okay. Final player is here. We are gonna be ready. Just need to get the final ready check, and then we can finally get going, and it will be Cursed Hollow. I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've played on this map, and we are getting into the first map, Cursed Hollow, between Clouded Minds and Surely We Scale.
Cursed Hollow.
All right. But we are here now, and we are Cursed Hollow. And I'm wondering what the draft's going to be like. I mean, typically there are some pretty major picks here. The Dahaka, potentially Brightwing, Falstad, any of those globals. Cursed Hollow's a massive map. But instead, we're going to see the Anubrak banned out first by Clouded Minds. They're trying to get rid of that instant lockdown. Anubrak definitely has the best base ability and gauges out of any tank, but this draft's moving really fast already. Dahaka gonna get banned away by Surely We Scale, and Chromie gonna get banned by Clouded Minds. So just like that, already 3 bans coming through, and Junkrat will be the 4th. There's a lot of picks that are already missing here. And I'm wondering what they're gonna take as the first pick. It is gonna be the Hanzo, getting blocked in by Terrorsaur. Now the Hanzo obviously will be able to provide some engage, especially once that level 10 hits. Most likely. Anyway, it could be the Dragon Strike. And that is one thing I do like about Hanzo. Depending on how you draft, could be someone who engages or could be a massive follow-up to that engage. And we saw how effective that could be in our previous series, especially when paired with the Entomb from Leoric. Now Kagamine Len going to lock in the Brightwing, and Tie-Dye Tights going to lock in the Sylvanas. Ruffian immediately locks in the Oriole, and Tiger locks in the Hogger. Okay. I know a lot of people hate Hogger. Hogger might be my favorite offlaner to watch. It's just fun watching this crazy wolf dog thing spin around, just dash everywhere. It's a lot of fun. I remember how powerful this hero was upon release as well. But first phase of picks went by really fast there. Now, Oriole is definitely a super powerful healer, but I am noticing that now that it's meta, a lot of players have started figuring out how to play into it and how to beat it. And I think that's a lot of fun. It did get slightly adjusted with the 10% nerf in terms of getting energy from minions. But I think pair that with the knowledge that all the other that teams are slowly but surely starting to amass. And it's slowly but surely just turning into a balanced healer that's a little bit of a draft breaker. And I think that's incredibly neat, as we see Sonya getting banned away by Clouded Minds as well. And now Surely We Scale going to have to kind of show their draft here. We'll need to get their third and their fourth pick. And I'm wondering what they want to do with this. They could lock in their tank, and they are going to lock in the Diablo for Memes and the Falstad for Ulysses. And I really like the Diablo pick. It's nice having a true tank. Hanzo will be able to do pretty well later on in the game into Diablo, especially once they get those extra or those max percent HP on the Scattershot. Assuming they do go to the Scattershot build, I've been seeing quite a bit of Stormbow. And Tiger Hots, thank you very much for the 98 bits. Thanks for the cast, and I always love doing casts. There's a reason why I cast as much as I do. That's all I'm gonna say. But Tempest Jet gonna lock in the Muradin, and Rogue locking in the Greymane. Let's go. Okay. My bias is definitely going to be showing here, but Hogger and Greymane are two of my favorite heroes to watch. So I'll try not to be too one-sided here. I mean, I'm usually pretty good at being impartial. I'm a true professional. But now the final pick is going to be the Blaze for Ector. So it's going to be Blaze into Hogger. I think this is one of those matchups where both just kind of go past each other. They don't really care about each other. They could, in theory, get the kills, but Hogger should have a pretty easy escape with the Hog Wild. Blaze should just be too tanky for Hogger. Could eventually get zoned out, but with the amount of base HP and with the extra healing from the Burning Oil, should be fine. Well, that being said, let's get into game number 1.
Prepare yourself.
I've messed up a small thing here on my OBS. Give me one moment. There we go. And here we go. Game number 1 between Clouded Minds and Surely We Scale. We are on Cursed Hollow. And we are getting ready. And we're going to have a pretty fun game here. And now, interestingly enough, Surely We Scale, they do seem to be bringing most of their players up to the top side. But Tempest Jet and Rogue are already there on the side of Clouded Minds. Now, are any of these two teams going to get caught? There is a watchtower here, and I'm guessing that's where Clouded Minds are going to be going. As Tempest Jet will just grab that on their way top. And whenever you're playing into Sylvanas, you do kind of want to be ready for the defense here. And that's exactly what's happening. The Black Arrow's going to get thrown out. Tie-Dye Tights just trying to DPS back, but Rogue and Tempest Jet, they're here for the defense. They got a little bit of damage done, but not that much. Well defended on the side of Clouded Minds. The usual level 1 cheese from the Sylvanas coming out strong. But now Memes still staying up here, as Ulysses is going to be with the Gathering Storm build, going to be going for that extra mage damage instead of the auto text. But now Rogue going in with the Worgen form. Gotta get hit pretty low, and Phase Shift is coming up for Ulysses as well, but they're not going to be able to take down Rogue. Ulysses not able to land the blind Hammerang over the wall. Now Detainment Strike just going to push Memes back further, and that'll be the end of that play. Now, it is actually Cocktail level 1 picked by the Grey Mane. So this is a different build than I thought it was going to be. Because right now there's typically 2 builds with the armor getting buffed. You do see the Worgen build level 1 pretty often now. But the main talent build used to be the popular one, where you're just human form, auto-attacking with range. It's still good. It didn't get nerfed in any way. But the Cocktail isn't a super common pick. So I'm wondering to see how they're going to be able to play this. But now the Bruiser Camp is going to get finished off by Clouded Mines. Surely we scale, looking to finish off their Siege Camp. And Tie-Dye Tights and Kagamine Len should be able to take this down together. But now Tiger, with the Dynamite, already pushing into the bot lane, is looking to play aggressively. But Jet Propulsion, again, it's so hard to deal with Hog Wild just because you're unstoppable for so long. If you have the right angle, you're able to create so much distance and just able to push out onto the structures in pretty good safety. As Rogue also locked in the Siege Camp in the top side. Now, there's a bit of trading over the bot side, but it's just going to be the 2 Beefcakes, the 2 Bruisers trading back and forth. Nothing much should happen here, but Jet Propulsion does land onto Tiger, but with the healing will be okay. But now the real push is happening over here in the mid lane. They already have the Bruiser Camp memes trying to get a little bit of healing, but Tie-Dye Tights gets hit into the wall, and with the body blocks will go down. But now they are looking towards Tempest Jet, but with the Dwarf Toss able to just jump over as Clouded Mines get the first blood. And now the Tribute is going to be spawning. It's going to be spawning over into the bot side. Even though they did get the first blood, they did get some extra experience. There's not going to be any difference in terms of talents. But now Hector getting jumped upon. Tiger and Tempest Jet just blowing past them, trying to get the body block. And with the Detainment Strike, Ruffian able to secure that kill. And it's a 2-for-0 now in favor of Clouded Mines. And with Hector not being there, it's going to be so difficult to defend into this. It is slightly favoring Clouded Mines with his position, so it's okay to give this one up. But definitely would not want to give too much away afterwards, as a solid level lead is starting to grow for Clouded Mines. Already at around half a lead, as Kagamine Len and Tie-Dye Tights going to get started on that camp. But now, the side of Clouded Mines, they're pushing over to the bot side. They're already finishing off this wall. And with the staggering blow, Tiger's able to throw them back. The Jet Propulsion will land. Tiger gets hit into the backstand and will get healed by Ruffian, but still gets taken down to about half HP. And they will have to end their push there. They're not going to be able to walk up into the fort. Now the Bruiser Camp is done in the mid lane. But surely we scale. They're in a bit of a weird position. It's hard for them to push in, but now Memes could be getting caught out, and the phase shift will come through. Memes able to back away now. Jet Propulsion from Hector. And now with the Shadow Charge, Tempest Jet and Tiger both have to back away. They're not able to take down Memes. And that's the real benefit of having that. But Memes goes right back in, and this time will get finished off by the Hog Wild in the Crescent Sweep. And that's going to be the 3rd kill going over towards Clouded Mines. And now Ulysses playing over in this top side, going to start clearing away the walls a bit as the gate does go down to the last ranged minion. But it's going to be a pretty difficult way to come back. 'Cause I just realized I forgot to do predictions. My bad. Do that in the next game if I don't forget. But now this one, this Tribute, is definitely in a better location for Surely We Scale. They are uneven talents. They're both level 8. As Tie-Dye Tights will be able to just lock that in. Now Ulysses with a barrel roll will just be able to go topside. And it's kind of difficult to play right now with the hammering talent. When there's not a lot of team fights, when it's mostly just macro play, it's hard to get any stacks going. As once again, Tiger getting good damage onto the structures over in the bot lane. About a quarter or even a third of the health missing now from that bot lane fort. And with an extra little bit of dynamite, or that's not the dynamite, what even is that? I'm not even sure what that thing is. Well, they checked it over. There's a team fight happening over the top side around the boss. Ulysses trying to DPS over top. Kagamine Len is very low, doesn't have Blink heal yet. And Tempest Jet looking for the play. They will be able to finish it off. Ruffian with the final hit. And now Rogue still playing aggressively, still trying to hit on whoever they can. Rogue jumping on a Tie-Dye Tights. One more hit will be finished off, and it's just Memes against the wall. Will get finished off as well. And Clouded Mines playing really aggressive. They're playing really fast, and they're going to steal away this boss. Now they have their heroics as well. Level 10s are up, and once again, it's the Haymaker coming up for Tempest Jet. And now with that, they will be able to lock in the boss. Tiger trying to defend over onto this bot side, as Ulysses and Hector trying to take this tribute back. But Tiger could actually buy quite a bit of time here. And if Tiger's able to build a lot of time, and with the shockwave, looking towards Ulysses with the Hog Wallet, able to deal a little bit of damage, but Kagamine Len is coming here as there's a dive happening at the top side. Memes is the only survivor here now. They've already lost to Sylvanas, and Tempest Jet just going to zone them away. But now Ulysses will be able to lock that in. They will have the second tribute, and that could be their way back in the game. If they're able to get one more pick, if they're able to get one more tribute and get the curse, they could definitely even out the structural differential right now, as Hector could be getting jumped upon here, trying to walk away. Rogue will get the cursed bullet, and Hector, half HP, trying to run away. Memes is there to follow, will dismount them, but now all 5 members of Clouded Minds are here. They're still on to Hector, and despite Memes' best effort, it will be another kill going over to Clouded Minds. And just as the tribute is spawning too, but they're going to ignore it for now. They're going to go for the boss. Now, the tribute is going to spawn in 8 seconds. Tempest Jet is going to be keeping an eye on this, making sure that they don't try to sneak it away. But Tempest Jet is hit into the wall. Shadow Charge is there. Ulysses going to try to get this. And if they get the curse, they could get something going for them. And with the polymorph, they're going to be able to lock it in. Now the curse is there for Surely We Scale. And now this could be their opportunity to get something back. They will have the boss in the bot lane, so the curse is not going to be able to accomplish too much there. But top and mid, they have the passive push. They could grab a lot of soak. And most importantly, they could kind of delay a lot of the extra pressure the Clouded Minds could look towards. But now they do have 4 members over in the bot side. The fort is trying to DPS back on a Terrasar. But again, with the boss being there, it's not going to be able to accomplish too much. Now the bot fort will go down. Top lane is getting hit by Hector, but now Tempest Jet looking towards Memes, and Memes starting to get low, will get healed with a Pixie Dust, and the cursed bullet dealing so much damage. That max HP does so much to this Diablo. But now Ulysses is pushing out the mid lane. They have a push happening over the top side, and Raka, thank you very much for the raid. Those of you who left me before, welcome back. And we're in game number 1 between Clouded Minds and Surely We Scale. The curse just got taken by Surely We Scale, but Clouded Minds have gotten 2 bosses so far, and they're able to get quite a bit of value from them. Now the curse didn't end up giving them even a single fort, and that's going to be so difficult for Surely We Scale to continue playing out. And hopefully their namesake is correct, because at this point they will need to scale. It's level 14 to level 12. Almost 2 full levels in favor of Clouded Minds. Now they're able to close the gap a little bit there. And because of the curse, because they're still trying to get their waves sorted, they should be able to get level 13s before Clouded Minds are going to be able to get any kind of aggressive play. But as I say that, Memes walking into the brush is going to get spotted by Tempest Jet. And they're just trading back and forth. The Firestorm going to keep Memes healthy. And the Bruiser Camp is shoved in the mid lane. Tiger finishes off the one for Clouded Minds. And that's where the push is really going to come through. Level 13s are there for both teams. They are an even talent. As Hector is shoving in the top side, but with the Siege Camp not going to be able to push in too far. There's a little bit of extra poke damage to that fort. And every little bit of poke does add up. Eventually that will amount to a full structure. Eventually that will amount to the waves being evened out. And now Terrasor looking forward. Memes has a flank, but Tempest Jet able to spot out this Diablo before the aggressive play comes through. Ulysses is going to use the flight, and they're just going to group together mid lane. They have 5 members here, and it looks like they just want to power down onto this fort. They have the jump propulsion, lands onto 2, and they have everything coming through. The Apocalypse dealing so much damage. Now the Dragon Strike is there, but unfortunately they're on the wrong side. Tie-Dye Tights is going to be knocked with a Haymaker, but just like that, it's a 2-for-0. It is a fort. And it's a big fight that Surely We Scale needed. Now, unfortunately for them, Tiger pushing up in this top lane and is going to be pushing in with the Siege Camp as well. And they're going to be able to provide quite a bit of damage. Now, Tiger trying to hearth away Hector. Going to be able to cancel it for now. But the rest of the team not looking for the pick. They're looking for the structure. And with Kagamine Len there, should be able to keep their entire team healthy. But now Tiger might even be on an accidental flank. But nope, they're still short a couple players. They're not going to try playing back. But it is level 16 to level 15 right now in favor of Clouded Minds. Now the Tribute is going to be spawning here. And Clouded Minds should have full control over this. They have level 16. All 5 of their members are back. But I still think Surely We Scale is pretty happy with this. They managed to even out the structure difference And they're even going to have a lane where they're going to passively push in. Their top lane will be pushing in. But that is the second tribute in favor of Clouded Minds. But now Tiger sees Memes. And with the Shockwave going to continue over top. And they're just absolutely blowing up Memes. And with that, they could try and steal the boss as well. But they're pinging away from it. They are a little bit nervous. Level 16 is going to be coming out of Surely We Scale soon as well. As Xer is running up into the top side of the jungle. Trying with the Oil Slick Jet Propulsion. And they see that the boss has not been started. But they are right back into it. They're grouping here. Tempest Jet looking towards Xer. Not going to land the Stormbolt, but will get the... I always forget what this is called. The Pyromania out from Xer. That's a pretty long cooldown. It's a pretty major part of the team fight getting removed from Surely We Scale. But they have successfully defended onto their boss. They have all 5 members up. And the tribute is spawning over the boss in 27 seconds. Stormbolt lands onto Memes. Haymaker. And Kagamina lands in a bad spot. It gets so low. Just needs a little bit, but will get sniped out by Tiger. Now the team fight is blowing up. Tempest Jet once again lands the Stormbolt. Memes starting to get quite low and will get finished off. The bunker comes through, but it's just going to be Tie-Dye Tights and Xer there. As Ulysses continuing to push away this bot side. And as that boss is going to get taken down, I don't know how much Ulysses will really be able to answer with it. We'll be able to take this tribute, but again, the side of Clouded Minds, they're okay to give that up. It's still just going to be the first tribute. Does nothing for Surely We Scale now, though it may help them later on. But this is going to be pretty big for Clouded Minds because they're going to have that passive push in the top side. They can grab this next boss as well and get that push over in the bot side. And it seems like that's exactly their plan. They're just going to immediately get going on that. But right now, it's going to be on this defense over in the top side. Surely We Scale just trying to push this out as quickly as possible. They're all grouping all over towards it. And the boss luckily isn't too strong yet. It is only 13 minutes. But it is going to deal some damage to the keep. All 5 members have to be here as well. And now with the bottom boss getting taken down, this is one the Clouded Minds can push with. And that's going to make it that much more dangerous. If they're able to have all of their members there, all of their members just shoving in as 5. And that does seem to be the plan. They could look for the keep. And depending on how the fights go, they could even look for the game. It's now Xer hiding in the brush, but Tiger will get the watchtower. So they will be able to spot this out. Now the boss is still full HP as they finally reach the wall. And with all 5 members of Clouded Minds here, they don't have level 20 yet, but they are pretty close. So Surely We Scale, they are on an even talent here for a little bit, but they're also on a timer. Tie-Dye Fights just trying to trade, and now they do have the Apocalypse. And Xer able to get a pretty solid stun. Now Ruffian is in the back of the Dragon Strike, zoning away the fight, and Memes is going to go down. They have the extra stun. Tempest Jet is going to get stunned up by Xer. As Tempest Jet looking to play forward, will not be able to, but it is a 1-for-0, and Memes does not have the souls to reset. But Clouded Minds, they're just going to call it there. They're going to take the bottom keep, and they have Curse if they want it in the top side. And I think they're just coming back because right now their mid lane is kind of getting wrecked by Surely We Scale. This is one lane where they still have the advantage. They have the fort difference, and they also had the Bruiser camp pushing in for them. Now Rogue gonna be able to clear this out, no problem, but the curse is going to get started, and Surely We Scale are going to lose their mid lane fort at least. But the question is, what else will they lose? Where else will they lose? Level 20 is also there for Clouded Minds. Now mid lane fort, I expect, will not last too long. There's still 50 seconds left. Clouded Minds could definitely look to fight here. And if they're able to start a fight, it'll force the rest of the team to come and defend over in this mid lane. As the Cocktail, once again, just dealing so much poke damage over the wall. Now with the Dynamite as well, with all of their AoE damage, they should be able to clear this out pretty quickly. And now the entire side of Surely We Scale is here. They pushed out their bottom top as much as they could. But the Dragon Strike just going to get used for zoning as they're trying to just walk forward onto this keep. They already have the bottom keep, and they have a couple minions already pushing in. And it is a cannon that's already getting onto the core. And now they're pushing. They have the stun over to the backline. Meme starting to get pretty low, and they're able to get another double stun. They have the shockwave, but Tempest Jet gets hit into the backline, but able to jump away. Ulysses also pretty low. The Hog Wild just jumping between everyone. Ulysses also going to go down, and Tiger just jumping between everyone. Kagamine Len is the last survivor. Will be able to jump towards memes. Apocalypse will come through, not able to stun anyone out. But that should be it. That should be game number 1 going the way of Clouded Minds. And there you have it. It was a pretty close start, but Clouded Minds, they're just fighting so much better. 15-2 in terms of the kill score. And look at these damage numbers. Ulysses just never really had a chance to get going with that Hammerang build. Has quite a bit of offlane XP, has quite a bit of structural damage. But if you're not able to stack that Hammerang, it gets so difficult to fight in those mid to late game team fights. And that's exactly what happened there. Now with that, it is going to be game 1 going to Clouded Minds. We're going to go to a short break. And when we come back, there's still more action, so don't go anywhere.
Spider Queen.
All right, and we are back with game number 2 today. It is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, going to be a pretty interesting little match here. As once again, it is a smaller map this time around, so hopefully it won't be too bad, but we're going to have to see how it goes. But Anubrak going to be the first ban coming out from Clouded Mines. Surely We Scale going to ban away the Oriel. Chromie banned away as well by Clouded Mines. And Junkrat going to be the final ban for Surely We Scale. So pretty similar bans. Pretty sure they were identical. And what I like about this is for this map, it is going to be a much smaller map. And it's going to be a little bit of a snowballier map, even more so than Cursed Hollow. Because if you're able to hold the middle ground, if you're able to hold control of the gems for the turn-in, then there's just not too much the other team can do without forcing a bad fight. Sometimes they will be able to win just through outplays, but it is hard to come back. The Clouded Mines, they're going to lock in the Hanzo for Pterosaur, and Surely We Scale going to lock in Johanna and Dahaka immediately for Memes and Ector. So not going to be on that Blaze anymore. But Clouded Mines, what are they going to answer with? Now, last time the Brightwing for Surely We Scale did help quite a bit, but this is a different map. This is going to be a little bit of a faster paced game in terms of map movement. And it is going to be Hogger once again for Tiger and Anduin for Ruffian. And that's really going to be able to increase the amount of damage they're going to be able to do with Tiger. I mean, we saw how much damage that Hogwall did in that final team fight. That was absolutely insane. Just bouncing between everyone. And Anduin's going to provide quite a bit of safety and could also provide an engage tool. Now, if this time Tiger doesn't go Shockwave and goes the Hortapult, that will give them another avenue to start fights and another avenue to start having those team fights working in their favor. And with Dragon Arrow on top of that, they could get quite a bit of engage value. Now, Meriden going to get banned by Surely We Scale, and Sonya, even with the Dahaka locked in, going to get banned by Clouded Mines. So I'm wondering if they're more concerned about a melee assassin Sonya. Now, it is quite strong. It deals a lot of damage, and with the right team comp, it can do a lot and provides a ton of value. Because, I mean, Hanzo and Anduin, they're both very squishy. Leap is such a strong engage tool. Makes sense to just get rid of that. But this time, the Greymane going to get locked in by Tie-Dye Tights, and Stukov locked in for Kagamine Len. Now, they are lacking just a little bit of crowd control, in my opinion, on the side of Surely We Scale. Joanna has Condemn and Blessed Shield, both pretty solid. But other than that, all they really have is the drag from Dahaka. Everything else is kind of soft crowd control. And the side of Clouded Mines has quite a bit of crowd control, even just from the first 3 picks. And Garrosh and Mephisto are only going to add to that. Tempest Jet going to be playing the Garrosh, and Rogue going to be playing the Mephisto. Which is pretty interesting to me because I'm pretty sure Tempest Jet was the DPS. I might be misremembering. I misremember a lot of stuff, so if I am, I do apologize for that. But now, one final pick coming in for Surely We Scale. And the real question is, what is this pick going to be? It is going to be the Falstad once again for Ulysses. Now, last time, definitely wasn't able to get going. Did not get many stacks on that Gathering Storm, but I think on this map, it would be a lot easier to get stacks regardless of which talent build you go. The lanes are closer together. There's going to be a lot more players going between. So we'll have opportunities to stack that up, and with that late game scaling can definitely provide quite a bit of value. Tempest was Mura. Okay, so I am going crazy. That's fine. That happens. But I apologize for that. But either way, it's time to head into game number 2. All right, and we're into map number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen, between Clouded Mines and Surely We Scale. So I am going to be pretty interested to see what the talent choices are. Now, we already see Pterosaur going to be going for the Scattered Shot, And Rogue going to be going with the unyielding power, so it is going to be that skull missile build. But what I'm most curious about is what talent build will Ulysses take? I would really love to see... Oh, well, honestly, there really isn't a bad choice this game. I was going to say I would love to see the auto attack build, but no, I think anything can work fine here. But now both sides are going to be grouping towards the mid lane, albeit Cloud of Mind's doing it in a little bit of a more roundabout way. They do have Rogue checking the bot side. We do see that over on their minimap as the Hogwald will come through, trading a little bit with Hector. And Rogue immediately going forward. Not able to get any stacks quite yet as Hector starting to get poked down a little bit, but obviously as the Dahaka has very good scaling, has very good sustain, as Memes pressing forward onto Tempest Jet. And now Ulysses is going to be the one sent to the top side, and it will be the frequent flyer, will be that auto attack build. And I do think it's pretty good. They're going to be walking between lanes a lot as the Skull Missile able to land on it too. And you definitely want that scaled up. Now they have the Lurking Arm, not going to be able to follow up on anything yet. As Rogue, once again, able to get another 2 stacks with that jump. And this Mephisto is going to scale extremely well, especially once that level 16 talent comes in. That's when Mephisto really spikes. Level 20 is nice. And assuming it is going to be that, how do you call it? Assuming it is going to be the Durance of Hate talent, will be able to provide a bit more crowd control value and a little bit more teamfight ability. But that level 16, that's where the damage really caps out. So it's going to be the Falstad versus Mephisto in terms of scaling. Now Ulysses is still clearing out all of these waves. And the longer they go without huge fights, the better it is for Ulysses. Unless they're able to win those fights. But now the Bruiser camp is going to get finished off for Surely We Scale. But the side of Cloud of Minds want to engage. Memes is looking, but no engage angle yet. Condemn is going to land. Pterosaur could be the charge, but not going to be able to follow up onto a Tempest Jet. Going to use the Wrecking Ball just to keep Pterosaur alive. Was able to cancel the Lurking Arm. But now they do have their push, and they do have their camp already shoving in mid lane. Now, in the meanwhile, in the bot side, it is going to be 2 against 1. Tiger did get the camp, but can they get away? Hogwild was already used. And considering Tiger's running to the opposite side of the map, I will assume it's not super likely, but the Hogwild is coming through. And Tie-Dye Tide's trying to chase him with the arm. Going to be able to survive for a little bit longer and actually buy so much time. It is first blood going towards Surely We Scale. So it's still definitely better for them. But I'm surprised how long Tiger was able to stay alive. I always thought Dahaka was the one that was really good at buying time. But I guess not. But that's a pretty big death to take. There's a lot of gems on a Tiger. And they're all going to be lost now. 37 to 24. None of them have been turned in yet. So Cloud of Minds could try and get it back. As Hector is sitting on 15 right now as well. Now mid lane push is going to get started here. Surely We Scale once again just trying to clear the waves, trying to get everything pushed in. Not a lot of damage from that Bruiser camp, as Tiger's going to be clearing out their own Bruiser camp. And with the Hogwild, it's so easy just watching the Hogger bounce around. Nice and AFK. Dynamite will finish it off. And now the Bruiser camp is on the way. Now, we've had a couple turn-ins already. 25 gems turned in by Surely We Scale. Hector sitting at 18. Will need 2 people to turn in. They do have enough overall. This means able to sidestep the Groundbreaker. But now it's time for Cloud of Minds to try this push over in the mid lane. They have the Bruiser camp. And Surely We Scale definitely going to have to defend into it. Definitely going to have to do something. But it is going to be a bit more complicated. But Rogue still jumping in. Still doing quite a bit of damage with the Lightning Nova and the Skull Missiles. Tempest Jet is here as well. And already at 16 stacks of unyielding power. This is going to be a very strong Mephisto as Ulysses gets taken down low. Same with Tie-Dye Tights, and they're able to just keep pushing forward. But now they have cleared out the wave, and with that last little bit coming out from the Lurking Arm, will force Clouded Minds back. But that's still a massive victory for them, able to take down the entire mid lane wall. And now, speaking of talents, it is going to be Viciousness coming out, and with the rest of the talents, it is going to be the human build. Coming for Tie-Dye Tights. Not going to be the Worgen build that I really love seeing, especially after the buff. I think that is the right call, especially considering the compositions they're against. It's so much harder to play that build into a Joanna and into something like a Dahaka that is very comfortable and happy to stand right with you as you do that. But Tiger gonna be able to use the staggering blow to keep Ector from getting the turn in. And if Ector gets the turn in, that will be everything spawning in. But now Rogue is here trying to get a bit of poke. But they have the condemn on the Rogue, and Rogue is slowed down. Gets taken down quite low. But now Tempest Jet could be looking for the play as well. They have the Iron Skin. So not able to use Wrecking Ball onto memes, but able to bring Ector back. But with the stasis, once again, will be okay. Shield Glare buys a little bit more space, a little bit more time, and 3 more hits on the Skull Missile. Already hit that 20. So it does have the bonus damage now, and just needs a little bit more to get that second charge. And then after that, it's just wait till level 16, and then Rogue's gonna be a powerhouse. But having said that, the opposite number, Ulysses, is really starting to scale as well. Already 16 stacks on Frequent Flyer, and that's going to be a lot of damage later on. And this auto attack build scales extremely well. It's going to be a little bit difficult into Tempest Jet, but with the extra space that they can bring, with the extra positioning, should be fine as Tempest Jet with a Groundbreaker trying to prevent Ector from getting the turn in. But now the fight is happening, but Tiger able to get the turn in on the bot side. So it is going to be the blue Web Weavers coming in first as Clouded Minds. They will have their push. Now, how much value can they get out of this? It is 6 minutes in, so the Web Weavers are starting to get somewhat strong. As Ector could be a little bit too far out, but it is the Dahaka. Should be in a good spot. Meme's going to try and prevent any kind of follow-up. Tempest Jet actually getting quite low. The drag not going to land. And overall, the trade actually favoring Surely We Scale, but that's still pulling members up to this top lane. As Rogue just able to continue getting so much poke onto the bot side. Now Tie-Dye Tights going to get taken down to half HP as well. Just trying to help clear this wave. Deal a little bit of poke damage, but Ruffian just able to keep their entire team healthy. Now the Web Weaver's already pushing into this top side. Wall's already gone. As Rogue still poking onto the backside. Memes and Tie-Dye Tights. Kagamine Lens trying to keep them alive, and with the Iron Skin will be fine. But that's going to be the final stack. That's going to be 40 stacks there as Tie-Dye Tights and Memes. And just Rogue is doing so much damage. They cannot deal with it. And with this snipe, Pterosaur got to be able to get the first kill in favor of Clouded Minds. Now they have the top lane fort. They still have Web Weavers. Never mind. Their Web Weavers are all gone except for this top one. But they got good value in mid lane, took down the wall. Good value in bot lane, took down the wall, and took down the fort to about half HP as well. Now, I don't believe they have enough gems to do the double turn-in, but they need to watch Ector. If they're able to pick off Ector, that's going to be so many gems. Not only getting removed from Surely We Scale, but if they're able to pick them up, it'll give them a ton of value later on. But yeah, 81 gems on the side of Surely We Scale. They almost do have enough for that double turn-in. And with a couple more waves and with the push from the first turn-in, they should be able to do that. If they can get that initial turn in. And that's kind of the if there. Because right now, Clouded Minds, they have control of the top lane. They have control over mid lane. Tiger going to be finishing off the siege camp over on the bot side. Will be able to get that extra control as well. And now they're just going to be pushing onto this fort. Now, the Bruiser camp has been finished. Memes get thrown into the back line. But will be okay. But look at that Blessed Shield. Now the curse bullet is going to get thrown in. They have the stun. They have the Dragon Strike going onto the backline. Durance on to 5, but Kagamine Len will survive. Ulysses is still alive as well. And that's a big team fight for Surely We Scale. Pterosaur gonna get taken down as well. Now Tiger with the Shockwave able to get 1, 2, and looking for a third, but with the Shockwave not gonna be able to follow up any further. It is going to be a 3-4-2 as Ector holding on to 79 of the gems. Will be able to turn in now. And I mean, at this rate, Ector can just, yeah, one more gem, and Ector can solo turn in right after. But Tiger looking to play aggressively, but will be forced to back away. Now, how much value can they get on this return play? They already have the minions pushing in, and Ector is going to try and clear away this siege minion. And I think that's the hard part as well, because when you're behind, even if you are able to sneak it in, you don't have that aggressive positioning that you would if you're already pushing it ahead. Because when we spawn wherever your waves are. And with the damage Rogue and Pterosaur are able to bring out, it's not even reached the wall. It's already at half HP. Now they do have Rogue getting jumped upon. Is going to be in a bad spot. Dragon Strike getting a use for zoning. And that'll keep Rogue alive. But again, this Web Weaver already basically finished off. That's going to be taken down. They will finish the wall, but that's all they're going to be able to get. But now Hector trading with Tiger. Tiger just trying to get in the way, but a couple autos will come through. Tiger forced to back away. But now they have the Durance, and they're able to land on two. Shockwave over top, and they're going to be able to take down Memes. Now, Clouded Minds, very solid defense. They will be able to save their top fort, or so I thought. But no, the top fort will go down. And that will be at least one structure going the way of Surely We Scale. And they needed that because that's going to be an even top lane. And all the structures, not including the health, has been evened out. As Hector immediately going for the double, but Rogue is there trying to get in the way. And Rogue should have quite a few cooldowns, should be able to just permanently keep them. As Tempest Jet able to turn in another 16 over in this top side. Now Ulysses, they're watching. Hector is there, and they're jumping onto Hector. That's the target you want. Already at half HP. They have the Lurking Arm to zone them away, but they have the taunt, they have the Light Bomb, they have the Dragon Strike, and they're going to take down Hector. And Hector was holding most of their gems, but now the fight isn't over. They have the Chastise. Blessed Shield has been used in the backline as Tiger will turn in another 32, and that's going to be the next set of Web Weavers. That was the single best target that Clouded Minds could have taken out. Now, on the side of Surely We Scale, Memes was at least able to pick up the gems, but some of them are still going to be lost, and some of them were still picked up by Clouded Minds. And now their mid lane fort and their bot lane fort, they're both low. And like I was saying, Clouded Minds, they have the waves already pushed in by the time the Web Weavers spawn. And it really changes the location of it. But now, while we have a quick moment, it is going to be 31 stacks already on Frequent Flyer. So this fall set is scaling up. But level 16 is about to get hit. And if we thought Rogue was dealing a lot of damage before, this level 16 is going to change everything. And I think that's going to be the main issue. As Tiger going to finish off the bot lane fort. The mid lane one's already gone as well. And now the push is coming through. They have the Lightning Nova Explosion. The Lightning Reaction is such a powerful talent. And it makes it a lot easier to deal damage. Even if you miss the skill shot, it makes you able to hit more targets if they're at least not quite as closely grouped together. But now the mid lane will get finished off. The Web Weaver anyway, and the bot lane one will follow, but so will the bot lane wall. As the keep is now exposed, they could look for it. But as level 16 is about to get hit by Surely We Scale, not going to be the best push, but they could take the Bruiser camp on their way out. This isn't even talent moment right now for Surely We Scale. This could be a moment for them to fight, but they're just worried. They're struggling to walk into their own jungle. And now they do have 126 gems, but if they're not able to turn it in, it doesn't amount to anything. Now, Memes definitely was thinking about it, but the entire side of Clouded Minds is going to be here. They're ready for the defense. They're not going to let those Web Weavers come in. And I think that is their biggest worry because they can defend into it, but it will give the opportunity for Surely We Scale to come back. But Blessed Shield does land. Pterosaur going to get absolutely blown up. And now Lurking Arm is going to be in the back lane. Will get saved. But with the drag, is going to go down. Shockwave lands onto 3. Hogwild just to get away. But that is going to be a 2-for-0. And now Surely We Scale, they can surely turn in their set of gems. And Memes will be able to do that. And they're going to start the boss as well. They want everything off the map right now. Endurance of Hate just slightly went wide during that team fight. I don't know if it would have made a difference because at that point they've already lost Pterosaur. They're not going to have the full wombo. But definitely could have gotten something back. And now the boss is going to go down. The Web Weavers have gone down. And Surely We Scale can start pushing forward. They can start playing aggressively. And they can start maybe trying to bring this game back in their favor. And it looks like they're not even going to bother going for mid or bot. They're just going to push straight top. And I think that's a good call because the Web Weaver will push in the bot side. All they need to do is make sure that Clouded Minds respects their advance. And then all 5 members are going to be there as the Durance. Once again, going to go wide. Dragon Strike just buying space. Rogue gets taken down quite low. But will get healed up by Ruffian. And now with the boss and the Web Weaver here, they're already going to finish off the wall. They still have more health. Rogue looking for the play. Gonna get stunned up. And now they have the Shockwave into the backline. And Rogue will get finished off with the autos. And now Tiger also gets hit with the swipe. And everyone on Surely We Scale is still alive. But they got a 2-for-0. Tie-Dye Tide's tanking. But Tempest Jet is so low. Will get healed up a little bit. but that's going to be the keep taken down as well. And they still have the boss. They still have 5v3. They could look to win this fight. They could look towards a game number 3. Now they have the root. Tempest Jet's looking for a potential play, but they're already on the core. Pterosaur healed up just in time. Tempest Jet will get the taunt, but there's nothing for them to taunt into. They don't have the health, and even with the fountain, they're just not healing back enough. The boss is still hitting. Tie-Dye Tights is still hitting, and the gust just as the light bomb comes out, and surely we scale have brought us to a game number 3. Super close game again. And Tie-Dye Tights just barely able to eke out onto the top of the DPS charts, but that Greymane was doing a lot of damage, and Rogue also dealing so much in those team fights. But surely we scale, they won one big team fight, they got the Web Weaver, they got the boss, and they just kept forcing a play. And I think that was such a smart call. Because they were in a pretty bad spot at first in terms of structures, but constantly playing forward, constantly trying to force a fight. And once they picked off Rogue, they were in a huge position to end, and they were able to get that done. Now with that, we're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, it'll be game number 3. So don't go anywhere. All right, well, welcome back. It is time for the third and final game between Clouded Minds and Surely We Scale. And now this map is going to choose who's going to end up being the ultimate victor, who's going to get the 3 points. Domination already out. And this time they're not going to let Tiger play the Hogger. I mean, the Hogger was clearly doing so much work in both Game 1 and in Game 2. Not surprised to see that was going to get banned away, to be honest. And probably good for Surely We Scale to get rid of that. But now the rest of the bans have been the same so far. The Anubrak and Chromie from Clouded Minds, and then the extra Junkrat for Surely We Scale. But Dahaka is still available, and Tiger immediately gonna lock that in. And obviously Dahaka gonna be very powerful in All Track Pass, a huge map, so a ton of value in being able to move between lanes there, as it is later on in the night. So we're wondering why my cam looks bad. That's why, but I will be moving soon, and it will have lights there soon as well. But now, Sonya has been left open, and Extra are going to lock that in immediately as Stukov once again taken for Kage Mine Len. And I really like that they took the Sonya early on this time. Now, Oreo was left open, so Ruffian going to be able to lock that in for themselves. But having that extra engage power, having that extra DPS power, Sonya does well into Dahaka as well. So it's not a blind pick either.
With every death comes honor.
They'll definitely have better push on the side of Clouded Minds from the off lane, but the team fights will have quite a bit more pressure for Surely We Scale. As Pterosaur once again going to lock in the Hanzo. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Has been pretty interesting to see, though, that they have been mostly going with that Dragon Strike heroic. As Johanna gonna get banned by Surely We Scale. And I'm surprised that Johanna managed to get past all the way to this phase, but I mean, no one wanted it. There was better picks for them. I'm Dahaka, Oreo, Hanzo, Sonya, Stukov. They're all really contested picks too, especially between these two teams. But Clouded Minds gonna have the final choice. I believe they banned away Murden last time. Diablo is still available for memes as well if they want to play that. And they are just going to ban away the Sylvanas instead. They just don't want something that can help with a push. Obviously, it also brings a lot of DPS value. So not super surprised to see that removed. But now, going to be interesting to see what they pick. I would like to see a tank here. And I mean, we're going to see at least one DPS. They need something more than just Hector, Sonya. But if they do go with a couple of bruisers, could be fun as well. But it is going to be Li Ming for Tie-Dye Tights and Muradin for Memes. Okay, so the Li Ming especially is interesting because it will deal a lot of damage into anyone that's grouping in with Oreo. SWS banned the Murray game too? Did they? I thought it was the other way around. In my defense, I cast a lot of games and work full time, so my brain, especially once we get later on in the night, just gets completely fried. I am trying my hardest, though. I do promise you that. But Tempest Jet going to lock in Garrosh, and Rogue actually going to be the one to lock in Falstad. Ulysses, having played that in Game 1 and 2, not going to be able to play it here in Game 3. That one I do know for sure. But it will provide them with quite a bit of global value. Dahaka has the Brush Stalker, Falstad has the Flight. Now, Flight isn't a true cross-map, but it is still quite cross-map. We'll definitely be able to get two fights much faster than anyone else. And the final pick is actually going to be the Blaze. So they are going to do the double bruiser with the Murden. So their only real main DPS is going to be the Li Ming. Now, I think this is a pretty fine game for Li Ming to play. I don't think there's anything that she really doesn't like playing into. Isolate could be pretty bad, but outside of that, if she's able to avoid Tiger, should have a pretty fine match. But with that, it is going to be game number 3 coming up. Let's see who's going to come out the ultimate winner. All right, and here we are. We are loaded in to Alterac Pass between Clouded Minds and surely we scale now. Going to be quite a few members of each team. Here we have 5 members of Surely We Scale and all 5 members of Clouded Minds, and they're all grouping towards mid lane. Now, some of the talents have already started coming through. We have the Frequent Flyer coming out of Ulysses, and they should provide quite a bit of scaling. Now, Falstad always scales well, but on this map, especially if they're going to be double soaking going between lanes, we'll be able to scale up quite quickly. We'll be able to provide a lot of damage earlier on. Now, immediately, the scatter shot going to be coming through. Going to get 1 stack on simple geometry immediately. And the oil slick is just going to be used kind of to zone. And already 4 stacks for Pterosaur. That's exactly where you want to be as the Hanzo. The earlier you get that done, the better. And now the jet propulsion isn't going to land because of the stasis. But now, not going to be able to follow up too much either. Tempest Jet looking for a play under the backside. Able to land the Groundbreaker. Drag as well. And Memes actually goes further in. Sorry, no, that was the Wrecking Ball. And we'll use the Dwarf Toss to get out. But with that, Rogue is in the boss. I'm going to get hooked with the Ancient Spear by Ulysses. And we'll be able to just push in the lane. Has Tempest Jet with Rogue. So should have a pretty safe time here. We should be able to just shove this in. And ranged versus melee is always difficult to play. So Ulysses will have to play a little bit safe, especially now that the wave is starting to grow. But Memes is here. Rogue is playing aggressively. Ancient Spear not going to land. Same with the Stormbolt. So with the extra roll, Rogue will be able to just back away. Just kind of auto attack onto whoever's in front. Just because of why not. Dwarf Toss will be giving the extra armor. So Rogue going to be losing a little bit of damage there. But Tempest Jet is here. Going to keep Memes off of the horse. Because now both tanks are starting to rotate to the mid lane. Now both siege camps have been taken by both teams. And they're all going to group towards the mid lane. It is the 1-3-1 from Clouded Minds, but it is the 0-4-1 from Surely We Scale. Now, so they should have a little bit of extra pressure that way. But they're actually bringing in Ector to the bot lane. They want Ulysses to be with the main team. And that's exactly what they're going to end up playing here. Now, Memes is walking over to the top side just to collect Soak. But right now, the push definitely favoring on the side of Clouded Minds. So they have to bring more members here. Just going to have to group them down. But Memes starting to play forward. Has a Stormbolt. And they are body blocking with the Lurking Arm as well. The Unstoppable is there. But Ruffian needs to heal Tempest Jet and won't be able to get it in time. And that's first blood going over the way of Surely We Scale. Memes also gets taken down quite low during that. But will be able to survive. But now over on the top side, it is going to be Ulysses versus Tiger. Just going to be trading against each other. Not going to be a big deal. But the real push is happening over in this mid lane. Tie-Dye Tights is going to back away. And it looks like they care more about trying to get pressure in the other lanes than they do just trying to get that extra little bit of damage on the structures. But now Stormbolt not going to land. Tiger actually trading really well into Ulysses. Memes has to come up here and help out a little bit. But now the prisoner camps are going to be up. They are ready, but who's going to be pressuring forward first? Rogue just trying to trade into Hector, but taking so many autos back, actually. And with a twin stream, the Blaze actually can trade quite well into ranged heroes. Now Tie-Dye Tights trying to get the push here. They have the Groundbreaker. Tie-Dye Tights is going to get thrown with the Wrecking Ball, but has the teleport right back up. And will be in a good spot. And with all of these arcane orbs landing, it's going to be dealing a ton of bonus damage. Bit by bit, these structures will fall. And eventually it'll allow them to push in further every single time they do the back and forth in the mid lane. And now Rogue not going to be double soaking, just taking the stacks from one lane, but it is already at 10 stacks. And with the way that this game's going, it has been pretty slow so far. They're not going to be able to get too far into it. But that's going to be a lot of scaling coming in later on for Rogue. So if Surely We Scale doesn't try to pick up the pace a little bit early on, it will get pretty difficult for them. Now, I can understand if they want to wait till they're level 10. They do have pretty strong heroics. Now they're looking for Tempest Jet. They have the Lurking Arm for the silence. And with the slow, Tempest Jet's in a really bad spot. Gonna throw Memes back. And with the Tamer Strike, Memes is in a pretty bad spot too now. But Rogue is here for the fight. But it's just going to reset the play as Ector trying to clear away onto this camp, but it's not going to happen. The fight still ongoing. Looking for Tie-Dye Tights. The Groundbreaker not going to land as the teleport was there in time. Luckily, Memes does have the trade. Will be able to heal back up a little bit. Stormbow not going to land. And just like that, it is going to be just waves continuing to push back and forth. But Ruffian is looking to get it. And now the camp has been started by Clouded Minds. They're looking for the team fight. Tempest Jet starting to get pretty low. Hector just trying to get onto the backline. Tempest Jet forgotten by the team. Will get finished off. One more auto from Tie-Dye Tights. And that's going to be the first kill in favor. Oh, sorry, the second kill in favor of Surely We Scale. And now they can start looking to fight, looking to take this camp. Now, it was 14 seconds, which is pretty solid. But how much can they get on the return play? Surely We Scale has the inside track. They have the numbers. But Rogue pushing out onto the fort in the topside. Tiger just trying to buy time. Just slowly but surely trying to be a little bit of a pain. Will get interrupted, but with the detainment strike. But the arcane orbs are just doing so much. Same with the lurking arm. It's now 16-16. Now the fight going to start breaking up. Level 10 still not there for Surely We Scale. The Kagamine Land gonna get tossed into the backline, but Jet Propulsion lands, and now level 10s are there. Memes gonna pop the Avatar immediately. Stormbolt onto the backline, looking at Tempest Jet, and with the swipes, Kagamine Land is gonna be safe for now, but Ulysses is here, and with the leap, jumps on Rogue. Rogue's gonna go down. Tiger is alone in the middle of everyone, and now the camp has been finished. The cavalry has arrived, and it's a 2-0 for Surely We Scaled, and they just opened up the game by quite a bit. And I was saying, their scaling is definitely going to be pretty difficult. They do have the double bruiser comp, which always does end up lowering your damage output, and especially when they're into a fall stat that's able to infinitely scale, it is a legitimate concern. But they're playing hard early on. They've already taken down the wall, and they have this full push going onto this mid lane fort. If they're able to take it down, the Dragon Strike just going to get used once again to zone. And I have noticed that Pterosaur uses it for that a lot, and it does work well as a zoning tool. But now Tempest Jet is getting jumped upon. The gust from Rogue going to keep Tempest Jet alive for now, and will even try to body block a bit for the tank. But the mid lane fort will still go down. Now there's trading on the top side. Hector is in the bunker, gonna be able to survive because of that. And Jet Propulsion for the stun. Now Stormbolt as well. And Hector still just trying to DPS onto Tiger. And Tiger's gonna come back, but it's not gonna be a good spot. Will get finished off. One more hit. And with the Seismic Slam, Ulysses able to get that. And now with that, that's gonna be the top lane fort also going down. They do have the Resurrect as the Heroic coming in for Ruffian. Not gonna be the Crystal Aegis. And now they are racing back and forth, top for bot. But with this, Surely We Scale, they're looking to the boss, and they want to start work on it immediately. They know they're not going to be able to come back in time to defend the bot fort, but they could try to get this pushed in and then potentially prevent the bot lane boss from going. So right now, the fort will go down, and now Cloud of Minds will get started on their boss. Now, they do have better damage for this, so Surely We Scale unlikely to be able to defend into it, but they will have the first play. They will have the first push. And now with the 2 forts gone, Cloud of Minds do have the passive push in the bot lane, but Surely We Scale gonna be doing better across every other lane on the map. And now Ulysses is here. In fact, the whole roster is here just to clear away this boss. They should be able to finish it off before it's able to deal any damage. They have their whole team here. Ulysses deals quite a bit of damage to the bosses as well. Just need to make sure they get their stomp attack every now and then. Maybe we'll get a little bit onto the wall, but the top lane boss already onto the wall. Has the stomp as well, and gonna be able to take down this cannon tower at least, and a little bit more damage on the gate, and that'll be it. Now, this boss got exactly one auto onto the cannon tower, and that was it. So a bit better value from Surely We Scale. But again, a Cloud of Minds, after that last play, they're definitely behind, so getting any kind of value at all, already pretty good. And being able to remove it off the map on its own is already a pretty big step. As I just realized, I totally forgot the prediction again. Oh well. That's life sometimes. But now that we are playing over to the top side, and Cloud of Minds, they look like they want to start playing towards this fort, but Memes is already here. The rest of the roster is following for Surely We Scale, but they're just going to power in. They have their whole team here. This could be the start of a fight, but it is only 3 members of Surely We Scale here. Now they have the root, they have the silence, and Tempest Jet almost goes down, but with the gust and the Dragon Strike over top, we'll be able to zone them away. So the top lane fort is gone, but Hector pushing in the bot side, may eventually be able to take this down, but it's still a pretty healthy fort as Rogue immediately gets hit by the jet propulsion. And that'll be the end of that play. As actually Tiger's here as well. They have the brush stalker in the backline. Ector not going to get hit by the isolation. And with the jet propulsion, might be able to get away, but actually going towards Ruffian. Oil Slick going to buy a little bit of time, but with the barrel roll, and once again, just buying so much time with all of these different cooldowns. Jet propulsion not going to come out again, but that's going to be at least 10 seconds of camp channel time in favor of Shirley Scale. Now, they're going to have to back away now, but I mean, getting 20 full seconds is pretty good. And now they have this Stormbolt on the Tempest Jet. And the camp is also going to be pushing in the mid lane, so if Shirley Scale can buy a little bit more time. As I say that, Tiger's going to clear that out with Rogue. But this camp's also not going to end up getting hit because of that. I think they did need to bring all of their members if they wanted to try contesting the camp. So 21 seconds channel for Shirley Scale, definitely going to help out quite a bit. And this bot lane fort is already at half HP. So if they're able to get another set of cavalry, that should go down. And now there's just waves upon waves at both sides of the map. Rogue at 25 stacks. And Pterosaur started off really strong with 8 stacks in the first minute, but now going to be down to 16. But Shirley Scale looking to play aggressively. Brush Stalker coming in from behind. Tiger is there, but Jet Propulsion from Ector just going to be used defensively. And now they don't know that Pterosaur isn't here. And actually, Pterosaur is quite low. But Shirley Scale will back away for now. Memes does have a pretty good flank. And Tempest Jet going to spot Memes away now. Dwarf Toss will be able to get them back to safety, as the mid lane siege camp is going to go the way of Clouded Mines as well. But now is the fight going to start breaking out? Tiger is caught out a little bit, not going to get hit by the Stormbolt, and able to just jump away with the Into the Fray. Tempest Jet has a protection. Level 16 talent advantage for Shirley Scale. And with the scatter shot, going to be able to cancel it just in the last second. Gus used for that as well. Now they're still looking for the fight. Ulysses is in the back line, but now they're going forward to Tame and Strike on Ulysses, and they're going to be able to zone them away. And now the Dragon Strike in the back line as well. Tempest Jet already at half HP swipe just to buy some space. Ector trying to back out, but will get hit into the wall as well. And it's a 2-0 for Clouded Mines. Now they can start playing aggressively. Now they have the push in the mid lane, and they should be able to take this channel. But it is still 40 total seconds for them. So Shirley Scale could, in theory, start fighting and defending into it. But Rogue getting massive push in this mid lane right now. Has the siege camp, has the massive wave. And with the anti-armor, definitely going to help increase the damage here. But the rest of Shirley Scale, they took their own siege camp, and they will use it to help push out this mid lane. Now, 15 seconds left, and Clouded Mines should be able to finish this off. Memes has walked into the brush. But are they going to try fighting for it? Tie-Dye Tights just trying to throw a couple spells, but again, Ector just got back onto the map. Their waves are pushed in. I think it is the better call to just try and shove your waves out, give away the cavalry, and then just try to defend into it. Now Tiger might be in a bit of a bad spot. Memes looking for the jump. Is in stasis. Will not get hit by the Stormbolt. And so the play will end there. But the cavalry is coming out. The Alliance is ready to charge in. And they're all... And it looks like they're grouping towards the mid lane. That is the final fort that is still up on the side of Shirley Scale. And that is the final lane that they had that passive push in their favor. And Clouded Mines look to even that out and could potentially try to start a fight. 19 stacks on Simple Geometry. One more, and they will get those 2 extra arrows. Now, Memes just going to get the Stormbolt on Tempest Jet, and they will be able to clear out this cavalry very quickly. But the issue is the other lanes are shoved in as well. They will have to go and deal with that. And that could be the moment for Clouded Mines to just walk in forward anyway, even without the help of the cavalry. And that does seem to be the play, as the Arcane Orb dealing so much damage from the side of Tie-Dye Tights. Rogue just barely going to be out of range, but could be looking for a play in the bot side. Ulysses is going to get slowed and will use Leap defensively. And now they're just going to start pushing into this bot side. They're giving up on the mid lane fort, but now they have the bot lane wall. They've already taken down a good chunk of, well, not a good chunk, but the keep's definitely going to get poked down a little bit. And now they're pinging potentially towards the boss. The boss is already up, so they're going to get started on this bot lane boss immediately. And if they're able to take it quick enough, they could push in with it and start looking for that keep, as Ruffian getting hit by this boss. But with the Oriole not using mana, just being able to deal a little bit of damage, will be able to heal back up. But the boss is already gone. Shirley Scale was looking for a fight, was looking to contest onto it. Arcane Orb not going to land onto any of the targets. Rogue is going to dash in forward, but no follow-up is available. No play is going to be made there. But now they have the boss pushing it, and they're just trying to zone Surely We Scale out of it, because now the boss is definitely going to land onto the keep. And I think if it's landing at full HP, they're not going to be able to clear it out. This should be a very strong boss, dealing a ton of damage to their keep. Now they have a passive push in the mid lane. They'll be able to get at least something back, but this isn't going to be good. Luckily, it is also this map where they can kind of leave their core alone. Losing one keep isn't the end of the world here. But it will go down. Boss will need one more hit, and there it goes. Now the core will be able to handle everything else. This is a massive wave also stacking up at the top side. And for Rogue, this is a lot of stacks, but instead going to start the boss immediately. Brushstalker used there as well. And all 5 members of Surely We Scale are going to be coming up top just to clear this boss. And with a scatter shot, they're able to kill it so fast. And that will be the end of this top lane boss. Now, how much value can they get from this one now? As Rogue is going to be here just stacking up 39 stacks right here on Frequent Flyer. This is going to be quite a powerful fall stat as they head later into the game. Now, Extra has already started on this camp, but it takes 50 seconds to get it. But the boss is already pushing in. So they're just going to leave Ector there. And the rest of the team is going to group up top and try to defend this keep. They weren't able to defend the last one. Maybe this one will go better their way. But right now, it's level 20 in favor of Clouded Minds. Level 20 very soon for Surely We Scale, but not yet. And now this boss is quite healthy. There's no wall either. They have the root. They have the silence. Dragon Strike into the wind wall, but just barely going to be out of range. But the damage on Ulysses just going to get deleted off the map. And now Memes is stuck in the middle of the team. They're body blocking, but with the Dwarf Toss, will be to jump away. And the swipe. Dragon Strike over top. But Rogue is chasing on to Memes. And with the slow, with the extra auto, able to get the kill. Now Kagamine line looking for the play as well, but the heals are coming out. And Clouded Minds are in a really good spot. But Tie-Dye Tights looking for the play. Already got on to 2. But now they have the Dahak in the backline. Tiger looking for the fight, looking for the play. They have the Resurrect coming through, though. And another Dragon Strike in the backline. And that'll be it. The core is gone. Clouded Minds win 2-1. Pretty big victory coming out of Clouded Minds. And that was a pretty close game once again for a while. But once they got the first boss, got a good chunk with it, then they could immediately go up top, get that second boss, and they just pushed right in with it. They saw their level 20 opportunity, and they took it. But with that, I'm going to take a little moment, try and get an interview set up, so please bear with me as I do that. Ta-da-da. Clouded Minds. That is the name, right? Yeah, sorry, I'm just a bit tired, so a lot of things are just kind of getting past me. Alright, but I pinged him. We should get that set up soon. And they are here.
Hello.
Hello, hello. And I am joined here by Ruffian. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're feeling awesome after that win. That was such a tough match.
Yeah, you were able to bring it back in game 3, and it's a 2-1, so you will get those 3 points, but how do you feel after that win?
Oh my gosh. It was a tough match. It was like hardcore. Like we were so like tense the whole time and like, you know, calling everything out. It was really, really, really fun.
Well, that's the beauty of NGS. Having those close games, they're definitely the memories we remember as opposed to the big stomps, the ones that we were able to just barely pull out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely remember this. And we actually play Surely We Scale next week too, because we have a flex and then a regular week game. So it's 2 weeks in a row.
Gonna be a nice and solid grudge match then. Like, how do you think that match is gonna go? Because I mean, this was pretty close. There was a lot of back and forth. Do you expect it'll be the same in your next matchup?
I do. I think I feel like both our teams are, pretty strong, and we have a lot of different things we can do, both teams. So I'm sure that they'll be throwing some twists at us, and hopefully, we can figure out some surprises of our own and make it a great match, a great second match.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. But now tell me a bit about the draft strategy, especially in game 3. Because I noticed that both teams kind of had the issue where they couldn't ban away everything they wanted to. You banned away the Sonya games 1 and 2. It was locked in by Ulysses in game 3. They banned away the Oriole a couple times, but you still managed to grab it in game 3. What do you think it really was that changed the priority picks for this matchup?
I think the map had a lot to do with it in all three games. There were three very different maps. So I think that kind of makes you think more about what hero, some heroes may become more dangerous, on a particular map versus another. So I think that probably had something to do with it. Also, of course, the heroes you just played against in a really tough game, like, makes you think, do I really want to go against, that again? So it's kind of, and then we had kind of a game plan coming in on heroes we didn't want to see them play. So it's kind of hard to juggle everything, so you're exactly right. We couldn't ban everything we wanted to ban, and they probably couldn't ban everything they wanted to ban either. And that's what made it really exciting and a very, it felt like a really strategic draft, like as it was unfolding. So the drafts were really fun too.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. Like, it's a lot of the series, there's no change in bans. But with this one, you could definitely see, and it's always my favorite part, especially in these longer series, where the longer you go, the meta kind of starts to evolve just between these two teams, having their own separate meta. And I'm glad I got to see that for today's game.
Yeah, it was super fun, and we definitely were reacting to, what they were trying to do, and we were aware that they do like to play a triple front line, so we that's one of the reasons why we're, getting rid of the Sonya. But like you said, we can't ban everything, so they picked the Sonya early in game 3, so we're like, okay, like pretty sure we're getting triple bruiser here. But it was exciting because that was something new to the series, so it threw another kind of like wrench and everything, like having to adjust to that.
Yeah, a lot of different picks, a lot of different changes, and you say you're gonna play them next week, but how do you think this series would go if it was a best of 5? How do you think the draft evolution would have changed?
I think it would have continued because we would be wondering, okay, are they going to go for the triple bruiser thing again? Or, you know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do? Like something else? Of course, the map, what map we were on would make a difference. So I feel like both teams were reacting really well to each other. And I think it would have continued that way. We feel pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, and next question is so with this, you're pretty far up in the Division V West standings. Now, is it your goal to just win the regular season? Or like, well, what are your goals going into playoffs and as we head into the second half of the regular season?
Sure. Well, first I want to point out, I think we've played a match or two more than some of the teams, so it may look that way right now, but things should probably even out a little bit more as we go. But as far as our goals, like we're a pretty new group. Clouded Minds has been around a long time, but this particular team this season is pretty new, playing together. So I think our main goal when we were starting the season was to get to know each other better and, like develop, how we want to play the game together. And so I'm pretty sure we were just thinking, if we could just make the playoffs, that would be fantastic. Like we kind of didn't really know exactly what to expect. But now things are feeling really good. And, winning the division is always nice, but the playoffs are really kind of the more important thing. I mean, there have been seasons where we made the playoffs where we didn't win the division. We did great in the playoffs, and I think it could flip the other direction as well. So while winning the division would be amazing and we'd be totally honored and thrilled, I would say that having a strong showing in the playoffs is probably the bigger goal.
All right. And then with that, I have just the one final question. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there?
Yeah, well, first off, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to cast our match. We really appreciate it. So that's wonderful. Can't wait to watch it back. And second, I would like to just tip my hat to Shirley We Scale, because holy crap, you guys, like that was an amazing series. I hope you guys had a great time, and definitely looking forward to matching back up again next week. And then for we have 2 teams in the Clouded Minds family this season. It's us and then CM Daybreak, which is they are over in Division B East. Just shout out to them. Thanks for supporting us and rooting us on. And my team, you guys played amazing tonight. Thank you for making the season so fun, and everybody else watching, I hope you were entertained.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And congratulations again on your win.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
You too. Good night. And with that, we are done for the day. I will be sending you over to Eternally Blue, who I believe should have just started their cast. And just as a little FYI, I will be casting tomorrow. We're going to see if I regret it or not, but I impulse picked up a double cast that starts 8 Pacific and then 10 Pacific. So that will be 11 p.m. Eastern and then 1 a.m. Eastern starts. Should be pretty fun. I mean, I'm definitely glad I'm doing it. I'll probably be exhausted in that second one, but I wouldn't miss it for the world, and I hope none of you miss it either. But with that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow night.